What's going on, Peoria? This is your girl, Brett Brooks, and you are now tuned in to another episode of Breaking It Down with Brett Brooks here on Strictly Hip Hop 90.7. So this week, we saw Peoria Police Chief Eric Echevarria put out a call to the Men of Peoria to help escort the students at Manual into the building. Now, since then, there's been 2 more of these activations at Central and at Richwoods. I had a chance to talk to the police chief about why this idea was put on his heart and what the students gained from it. The interview has been edited for format reasons, but you'll have the whole gist of it right here. Here's more with Peoria Police Chief Eric Echevarria.
The chief is on the line.
Hi, thank you for this moment. I just wanted to ask you kind of like the obvious question of what inspired you to seek out the men in Peoria to stay outside of Manual, and what impact do you think it had on the students there watching you guys show up for them like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for reaching out and wanting to even ask. So I appreciate that. That week prior, we had 2 incidents that occurred before school and after school, 2 different incidents that occurred. One, a child was grazed, and one where the school building itself was hit, right? Based on that first incident, we had officers already around the area. They were able to quickly apprehend the shooter. You look at, I have a 13-year-old son that goes to Peoria Public Schools as well, and you sit there and think like, more has to be done, but this is not necessarily just a police problem, right? We investigate crimes, we figure out, okay, what happened, how did it happen, and then we present that and to charge somebody. And we're really a reactionary force. We always try to have proactive measures in place. We need the community's help. And what I thought to myself is, what if there was parents out there? What if there was men out there standing around? Would this have occurred? Would somebody that knows that there's a group of men, there's a group of parents, there's a group of people, whoever, that are standing in and around the school as people are leaving or coming, would this have occurred? And I want to think it wouldn't have. And so that was kind of the call to service to, stand up, show up, be there, and just be present. And let's deter some of this criminal activity just by presence of us uniting together. And what really struck me for the men, the school my son goes to asked for men to be at the school. Let's greet the kids coming in. And I was probably one of 3 fathers that showed up. I thought, how sad is this? How sad is it that we as men can't stand up and say, let me take a little bit of time out of my day? And that was kind of what struck me. And I thought about that is like, we need to get our men to just stand up. The moms, the women are doing it. You see the moms at the schools all the time. But sometimes we need to step back and say what's important right now and what's important to our children, and let's set that tone and set that example. And that's kind of where that came from. So I just gave you a long answer to a short question.
Well, I appreciate it. Do you have time for one more?
I do. Go ahead.
What do you think the impact of just seeing on the young boys, seeing the men step up for them in this way? What do you think you saw that day in their faces that kind of shows that they do have that support? What did you notice?
I will tell you, it wasn't just that day. It was today as well. I was out there today, and I got to give a shout out to Jeremy Sargent, who put out a call, took what we initially injected into the community and said, we're going to run with it. Made the connection with the school and said, hey, we're going to be at Peoria High today. We're going to be at Richwoods tomorrow. What I can tell you, what to me was the biggest impact, was seeing the smile on all of them, the girls, the boys, everybody. Because this is for everybody. This is not just for the boys. This is for the girls as well, to see that our men are stepping up, right? And setting that example. The smiles on their face brighten my day. I'm very humbled and very appreciative to see the amount of people on Monday that showed up. It's estimated that there was approximately 300 men out there. And to see that, and I was thrown back. I was like, wow. One, I felt like, okay, the community appreciates what we're doing as a police department, to trust that when we made this call to show up. And two, to see the acceptance from the kids as they walk by and they smiled and they high-fived and they fist bumped. I loved it. Quite frankly, loved it. And saw the same this morning. And, I took a moment to step back and kind of just observe this morning. And it's like, wow, look how, I don't know where they're coming from, and I don't know what may have happened last night or even this morning in them kids' homes. But I can tell you, as they walked past everybody and they smiled, seeing people, that meant a lot.
I think it's good police work. This is the police work that doesn't get talked about.
And I hope, if I could say one last thing to put out there, is that the community takes it and runs with it. I don't need to own this. We don't need to own it, but we want to support it. And we want to be there, and we want the community to come on board and say, let me go to my child's school. Grab a couple people from your local schools and be there and be present. I mean, we saw what just happened in Minneapolis, right? We saw what we've seen nationally, what's happened in other places. Let's not let that happen in Peoria, and we all got to work together. We all have to work together, not just to stand up, show up, and be there, but to say something when you see something. Now, our families are seeing, people are seeing things on social media. They're seeing that when the kids are fighting, they're seeing people with guns. They're seeing stuff that is happening prior to crime happening, prior to violent issues happening. We need people to step up and say something when they see it. And then we need them to let us know when they see it early. There's early signs. And let's all together intervene so we don't see that happen in our city. None of us want to see that happen in our city. So thank you. And I appreciate that. And what I hope, and so this doesn't stop here. We're working on some other things to continue. We are designing a shirt that we want to give out for a free shirt. Here, take these shirts, put the shirt on when you're out there. Let's be visible. Let everybody know we're here, and that everybody that's wearing this shirt is not scared to talk to the police. We're here to protect our kids. We're here to cooperate, and we're here to be present. And we're not going to tolerate people victimizing our community and victimizing our students, and we want to set them up for success. We want to set up our children for success. They're our future. We have to support them, and we all have to be brave enough to do it.
Well, what did you guys think? Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Breaking It Down with Brett Brooks. Like the chief said, be brave, but also be educated. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Do some history behind Labor Day weekend. It was founded here in Illinois. But I hope you guys have a great weekend ahead of you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay educated, stay Black, stay excellent. Until next weekend.